Well, this is today's experiment. We're going to explore the relationship between pressure and volume. The setup's going to be, I've got it here on my desk, so we have a syringe. It's a 60 milliliter syringe connected to a gas pressure sensor. And this measures absolute gas pressure, so that's what we need for this experiment. And that gas pressure sensor is connected to a nSpire lab cradle, and that in turn is connected to my AirMac. The purpose for that is so I can run the student software for nSpire and do some data collection on the screen, and I've recorded that, and that's in the second video. But I just wanted to give you an idea of what the setup is. It's very simple. I have my syringe filled with 10 milliliters of air connected to the gas pressure sensor, and the gas pressure is being read off onto the screen. You can see it there. It's around 86 kilopascals. So this would be your first data point. It's something like 86 kilopascals for 10 milliliters of volume of air. I'm going to go ahead and start this, and I'll go ahead and take this reading. Record that to be 10 milliliters of air. Okay, now next, without changing the quantity of air in the syringe, now I'm going to expand the volume, and we'll see what happens to the pressure. So I'm taking it to about 20 milliliters. Okay, let me record that. Now let me draw out the syringe to about 30, and we want to wait just a little bit because whenever you expand the gas, sometimes the temperature will decrease, and we need to give the gas time to come back to room temperature. You'll see how the pressure takes a while to settle down. Okay, that's 30. So I'm going to take a reading. Okay, I'm going to draw it out to 40. Okay, there's 40. Now we'll go out to 50, and it's becoming harder to expand the gas. So that's 50 milliliters. And finally, our last reading is going to be 60, and that takes a lot of force to pull that out because I'm developing a vacuum inside the syringe. Okay, there's 60. And so we'll take that reading. Okay. So I'm done with my data collection. I'll take a look and see what the graph looks like. Oh, I should do stop. Okay, so this graph is the pressure versus the volume, but this isn't the best way to look at this data because it's hard to figure out what the relationship between pressure and volume is with this kind of graph. So that's one of the purposes of the lab, is that you play around with the variables a bit and see if you can't come up with a straight line somehow through some transformation of variables. And this is the data collection table. These are the points that I took, and so you can use these and just see if you can determine what the relationship between pressure and volume is. Remember, there's several kinds of mathematical relationships. Pressure can be proportional to volume. Pressure can be proportional to the inverse of volume. Those are just the first order. Pressure could be proportional to the volume squared, or it could be proportional to the inverse of the volume squared. So there's some relationships there to explore. Okay.